think somehow we have this weird dynamic kind of going on where you're always picking
like
the
bad side of it.
yeah, like the maybe more like darker attributes of every horoscope. Hopefully she probably won't do that for her own, but
I'll pick the best ones.
Yeah, and then for mine, she'll try to just be like, all over again, probably more extremely. But I definitely kind of see that, which is interesting because I think that actually gives a more well-rounded picture for our series. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Not that I'm a pessimist and she's an optimist. I think I'm a realist. It's Stephanie.
It's Emily.
And today we are just going to do a monthly wrap-up for the month of June and just kind of give you a brief summary of what we did this past month and what videos we had, you know, released and whatnot. So
yeah, sure. So to start off, we started off this month with a relatively darker theme, I guess, because we did Dark Places as our first video. That book was by Gillian Flynn. Again, we seem to really like her, and I would say that overall, like filming it was kind of, I think we've kind of gotten a little more customary about like how we want to do things, which is always great. And as a review, we've kind of like established a little bit of like where we want to go from the beginning of the video to the end, so that was really nice as well.
And try not to do too much spoilers.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Because like I feel like it's really hard sometimes to review a book without really diving into the spoilers. Because you just want to talk about it, you know?
Yeah, it's great. It's exciting. You put in all this effort to read it.
Right. Yeah. But sometimes it's when we're doing, you know, this channel, it's a little more difficult to just always make sure that we don't say certain things, keep things on the DL. But yeah, so that was the first video, was Dark Places. And then after that, we continued with our monthly series, bi-weekly series for 13 Reasons Why. I think this time around we did episodes 7 and 8, as well as 9 and 10. So 4 episodes this past month.
Yeah, and I would say that overall we're almost at the very end of that series, so that's great. But
finally.
For us, but I would say that again, like some of the comments I actually made in the videos themselves was that I felt like with this type of TV series, it wasn't too hard to make a bi-weekly show out of it, just because a lot of what was going on with the themes of the tales, like you could definitely go very deep into it, and we did for each of the characters because of how well rounded. Like most of some of the themes itself were quite serious, so I felt like this was doing it justice. So
and then after
that was my other video, which I was talking about darker themes, which includes Girl on the Train by PAULA HAWKINS. So that's another book review we did. It kind of goes along the same lines as Gillian Flynn in terms of it being sort of a, like, not horror exactly, but a thriller.
Like a suspense novel.
In a realistic setting. So I definitely really recommend that book if you liked Gillian Flynn's books as well. We did a book and movie comparison with that one. So if you liked our review or if you heard anything out of it, we would definitely recommend you to watch the movie as well.
And then after that, we went to our first BOOKCON event prior in the beginning of June. But it took us some time to really like edit the video, so we finally released it, you know, like a week after basically. So that was our first book event video ever. So congrats to us for finally going to an actual event.
And congrats to me for actually editing it.
It was definitely, I think it was for her very different to edit just because we're not sitting here and it's not as easy.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of in terms of cutting it, I had to take into a lot of account like where like an authentic event happened, and then like should I actually take this out of the context, or just because of the way we filmed, because it was our first time as dilettantes in a book event filming. So there were quite a few scenes where we moved the camera a little fast, so like those are like certain like adjustments I had to take into account that you don't necessarily need to when you're doing a sit down video. So that was just like a few things that I found out while doing it, so that was a good learning experience. So then with the next book, you already talked about the book haul. Would you want to talk a little bit more about that video?
Yeah, so not only was it our first like actual book haul video, where we presented like 20 books basically that we had received from BOOKCON, as well as our first ever books that we received in the mail. So that was always interesting to see, like, yeah, we finally got some more books that we can, you know, really look forward to and reading and reviewing for you guys as well.
Yeah, and so following from that is the Heartless review, and we actually reviewed this book a while ago, but I think we listened to this via audiobook, and I think it was one of the first full-fledged retelling books that we reviewed, and it kind of follows along. It's by Marissa Meyers, and she basically does a loose retelling of what happened before the Queen of Hearts was the Queen of Hearts. So definitely check out that video.
And if you like Marissa Meyers, definitely
check that out within our playlist of book reviews. And it definitely was a good read.
Right. And then another video we did after that was PACHINKO. It was actually a book of a month book for Emily. That book was kind of spanned between like 2 or 3 generations, and really talked about Korean. But the Koreans immigrants during World War II in Japan. So I thought it was we thought it was a topic that wasn't really well talked about these days. So it was interesting for us to really get into like a history, especially a history that kind of spanned multiple generations, and seeing how much things changed between, you know, when the war first started versus, you know, like 30, 40 years later when their great grandchildren are now, you know, adults and whatnot. So it was a very interesting read, and we both really enjoyed it. So definitely check out that video if you want to check out the book or check out more of our thoughts on the book. Yep,
and it's also by an Asian American writer, so yay!
Yeah, she's always like, Asian American writer, oh, I need to pick this book. Anything else to say?
Yeah, so for if you enjoyed most of what, like, if you found that any of the things that we've mentioned are up your alley, definitely check out any of the videos that we will be posting down below or in the suggestion card part of the video. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this month.
Yeah, so all right, that's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye.